Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
So this morning I was on Boxing Scene, and I seen it on Twitter as well. Various reports of Andy Ruiz making his return. I believe it was April 24th against Chris Arreola. Now, me personally, right, I know Chris Arreola at his best was always a contender. He's not been at his best for several years now, probably since 2014 was the last time we saw Arreola close to his peak, or if not in his peak. So I know he's seen better days. He's been quite inactive. He's not fought since he lost to Kalnaki. That'd be 2 years now in August. So having him as a comeback fight for Andy Ruiz, following his own stretch of inactivity, following his change to trainer Eddie Reynoso, me personally, I really didn't have too much problem with it. I mean, like, yeah, you can sell that to the Mexican fan base, Latino fan base. It really didn't bother me. But I've subsequently learned that this fight is going to be on pay-per-view, on Fox pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola in 2021 on pay-per-view. Now, some people may say, gee, if it's on pay-per-view, it's on pay-per-view. That's in the States. Let it. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that over here, it's probably going to be free. More than likely, at the very worst, it be on one of them subscription-based companies or whatever it is. I get that. But at the end of the day, right, I have plenty of subscribers who are based in America, based all around the world. Boxing is an international sport, so it's universal, right? And I got to call BS when there is a BS pay-per-view. And that's BS right there. Putting that fight on pay-per-view, if they put that on standard Fox, it do great numbers, right? It's a great way to get Andy Ruiz back out there, for his Mexican fan base to see him. Because that fight, believe it or not, like, Eddie Reynoso is your trainer. You probably have Canelo there trying to plug the fight as well. You'll have Chris Arreola, former contender, who, has, I think, a bit of Latino as well. And you'll have Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champion. That will do seriously good numbers on standard Fox Sport. Be a bit of a showcase. I want to see, because I'm looking forward to seeing how Andy Ruiz looks under Eddie Reynoso. Said he lost a lot of weight. I think Andy Ruiz's track history has given me reason to be dubious about that, given his history. But I'm still looking forward to seeing how he looks under Eddie Reynoso, who I think is one of the best trainers in boxing. Okay, so it's just crazy. Like, that's just such a good opportunity to put that on, standard Fox, let people see it, and they're putting this behind a paywall. And people, in the world we live in, as crazy as it is, right, as mental as the world is nowadays, one thing that's definitely happened is that the economy is taking a knock. People don't have as much disposable income nowadays as they did 2 years ago. That's a fact. So putting this fight on pay-per-view behind a paywall, and those pay-per-views aren't cheap in America. We complain over here when it's like 25 quid. They ain't cheap in America. Putting this fight on pay-per-view, really? Oh, man. There are certain fights, right, that, look, put it like this, right? When Dave Allen was set to fight Lovejoy, I was really pissed off about that fight. Not because it was a gross mismatch, right, because Lovejoy's record was so padded. That fight was going to be on a pay-per-view card, right? So you would have been, no, I didn't pay for that card either way, but you had people who were forking out, and you would have got that on the undercard. And if that fight had been on, the women's card, that was a few weeks later, where it was on standard Sky, if they'd done it like that, I would have been like, yeah, fair enough. It's alright, fair enough. But making people pay and stuff like that, no. And it's the same with this. You're making people pay for a fight that, like, if Andy Ruiz comes in even out of shape, you should still make light work of Arreola. Arreola's retired twice in the last 5 years. He retired after he lost to Deontay Wilder. He looked terrible in that fight, and that was Wilder was injured in that fight quite badly to his right arm, I think, was broken, or he broke it during the fight, and he still looked terrible. And then he comes back, he loses. That was an entertaining fight, though, I'll say that, but he still lost to Kalnaki in 2019. He's not fought since then. I mean, like, really, that's absolutely disgraceful, putting this fight on pay-per-view. Absolutely ridiculous. And again, like, yeah, it's not going to affect me. I know people who live in America. I know people who live in America. I've got a lot of subscribers who are from America. It's not fair on them having to pay for this when you could put it on Standard Fox, when it's a fight that really is worthy of Standard Fox. You know, maybe if this was Luis Ortiz or someone like that, I might turn around and say, do you know what? Yeah, okay, I'll give him the benefit of, I'll give him the benefit on that one. But Chris Arreola, I mean, Al Heyman, I mean, what can you say? What could you ask any other sportsman what they think of Al Heyman putting this on pay-per-view?
He deserves a penalty for that. What the
Exactly. It's not a pay-per-view worthy fight. You know, from the sources I've read, it looks like we're getting this on pay-per-view. Maybe if you have Canelo plugging this, you know, Canelo, you know, releasing some tweets and stuff like that might help, because Canelo is such a big name. I honestly can't see this fight doing good numbers on pay-per-view. Again, I've no issue with Andy Ruiz fighting Chris Arreola as a comeback opponent. Absolutely no issue with that. You know, you change trainer, new camp, you know, you've been out of the ring for, you know, well over a year. I can get that. Like, I'm perfectly fine if you go in there and you're fighting Chris Arreola. Yeah, he's seen better days, but yeah, it's a comeback. That's fine. No problem there. Pay-per-view? Come on now. Come on now. That's BS. No way. No way. Especially not in this, as I said, the way the economy is, people just don't have disposable income. So like I said, like, when you look at like cards like the AJ card, right, that was on in December, I could have easily afforded that, right, but I need to watch what I spend my money on, because God only knows. And like, YouTube is nice to have a little bit of pocket money, but it don't pay. Is he going to live off anything? So yeah, that's the way I've been looking at it. It's just this was a golden opportunity. Put this on Standard Fox. You know, as I said, first fight with Eddie Reynoso, right? Latino fight, right? Big, get all the Mexicans, all the Latinos tuning in, and they put it on a paywall. I think that's an opportunity missed there, in my opinion. It's an opportunity missed. And I don't know how. I can't imagine that this is going to do good numbers on pay-per-view. Seriously, I can't imagine it. Yeah, Andy Ruiz, former champion, all that, but I genuinely, you want to build someone, I wouldn't have put this on pay-per-view, you know, because Andy Ruiz has potential there. And as I said, like, I really am looking forward to seeing him with Eddie Reynoso, because I think Eddie Reynoso is fantastic. I think being in the camp with Oscar Valdez, with Canelo, Ryan Garcia, having all that just good energy around him, it's going to bring out something that if this doesn't, nothing will. If this doesn't bring out something in Andy Ruiz where he's in better shape, where he's fighting better, nothing will. Because I can't think of any more of an environment to be in that just breathes a bit of, you know, positive energy. You know, I can't think of it. We'll wait and see. Bit of a rant. And again, like, yeah, people can say it's not going to affect you, G. You know, you're not going to pay for it. I know, but still. You know, my channel is not like based upon, you know, just Europe and stuff like that. It's based upon all over. Like, I cover fights from all over the world. I'll interview fighters from any part of the world, and I have fans watching from every part of the world. So it's about them. That's why I'm having to address this. So that's my thoughts on this. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think of this? In terms of the pay-per-view, I'm not going to ask whether you're going to buy it or not, but what do you think of the fight? You know, as a comeback opponent, any issues? Let me know in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe, of course, if you're new. Hashtag GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.